Health 180 with Carion Fenn on Rogers TV and podcast. My name is Carion Fenn. March 8th is International Women's Day, a time to recognize and celebrate the achievements of women, raise awareness of gender equality, and work that is needed. Today, I'm joined by Lorraine Shaw and Reverend Michlynn Walton. Welcome.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Lorraine, tell us about yourself.
For sure. So my name is Lorraine. I'm actually the lifestyle consultant for Parkland Ajax, which is a home that's set to open to support older adults living their best life. I've been working in the industry for about 5 years. I actually started off as a kinesiologist. I realized my passion for working with older adults, so I gravitated towards this field, and I've been loving it ever since.
Reverend Michlynn, give us an update. What have you been up to?
Oh boy, oh boy. Well, as you well know, like yourself, I'm a big community girl. So I've been doing various outreach programs, supporting some people in the at the Cove Collective, and also been working on projects for some of the people that are currently working on advocacy and community support.
Nice. Lorraine, what is a lifestyle consultant?
So a lifestyle consultant is basically someone that helps support older adults and their family members with transitioning into a community that really supports them living their best life and being fully independent for as long as possible.
Reverend Michlynn, how do you think a day like today, International Women's Day, advanced the cause of being a woman today?
Well, I feel like with anything, awareness is the key. If we have these open communications and talk about various groups from different community backgrounds, it can only help us holistically and as communities come together because we have a better understanding of what certain people are going through. And as for women personally, I have seen a big shift in women and younger women standing into their power and saying, you know what, this is something that I want to do. And as Lorraine was saying, she's always sort of had a passion and she followed it. And look at her, she's doing something that's wonderful and great for the community.
You know, right now, I'm so grateful for the strong woman that I'm surrounded by. And it's a really nice embrace, you know, the sisterhood. And I've been saying lately, you know, sisters of advocacy, you know, should coin that phrase, by the way. Lorraine, what does International Women's Day mean to you?
So International Women's Day to me means to recognize the trailblazers that came before me that are here now and the ones that are future trailblazers, and overall just being supportive of each other. I feel like collaboration is key, recognizing each of our strengths and working together in order to make this world a better place and to support those who need that support. So that's what it means to me.
Reverend Michlynn, I just really admire you as a woman, and I'm proud to call you my sister. You know, I've never met anyone who's so comfortable within their skin and just go after what they want. And I really admire the way you are as an entrepreneur, because I remember when you were thinking about starting the Cove during COVID, and I was thinking to myself, oh no, it's a pandemic. And she's like, nope, I'm doing this. And I'm like, you go. And just to see you blossom, you know, what is it like being a woman in Durham?
Well, I found the communities that I've been in super supportive. Again, I do have a vision and I go for it. And it's the comfort of knowing, as you said, that sisterhood around me. Whereas I have different groups of people. One can add and give some guidance, perhaps in like a business plan or that sort of thing. Somebody else can give guidance in advocacy. So this sisterhood that's come together and the collaborations, as Lorraine was saying, it just makes us so much more powerful. So for me in Durham, it's never really about me. Some people are boots on the ground, other people are behind the scenes, but it really takes a village and it really takes a team. And I'm super blessed to be around the people that I'm around. All their loving support, and it's unconditional support as well, which is a really safe space to move and grow.
We are the sisters in advocacy. Lorraine, who is your your role model, and why is it important to have other women in your circle to help empower you?
So my answer may be a bit cliche, but my role model is actually my mother, and also the older adults, the females that I've worked with in this industry, just because of the obstacles that they've had to overcome in order to get where they're getting, and how they were able to support women such as us to be where we are today. So those are my examples. And even just, for example, you and Reverend, like just hearing and like knowing all the things that you're doing as well is inspirational for me. It helps encourage me to keep pushing forward. So whenever those days where I'm just like, I don't know if I can do this, I have examples that are around me that really push me and say, you know what, just push the limit a little bit more and see what else you can do.
That's really nice. Reverend Michlynn, what is it like being a business owner? Because I know you have granddads and you also have the Coke. What is it? You're not only a woman with one business. What are you thinking? You got two or others.
Many, and I also do.
Secret.
Yeah, I also do weddings as well and other life cycle celebrations. Being an entrepreneur is it's something I've always moved into. I've never really been a 9-to-5er, but a lot of the business in the ice cream shop, it's really, again, goes back to community. I mean, I've made a lot of mistakes along the way, but the whole idea that Granddad's was in memory of my dad. So it was about providing an experience for the community. And the Cove is a collective. It's about supporting local artisans. It's about providing workshops and services for the community. And it's about collaborating with other groups. So I love being an entrepreneur. I learn from other people. And I'm grateful for that.
Lorraine, what role do you think women play in corporate Canada?
I feel like as we've gained more power and more roles that are super influential within corporate Canada, that we offer a fresh perspective. Even with the different services and products that we may be creating, we have that view of making sure that equality is a factor in it. And so, yeah, I feel like we offer that fresh perspective, things that maybe males wouldn't really necessarily think about.
I think we bring something incredible to the table, and it's amazing to see, you know, the different women and what they're doing and being successful and helping each other and working together. It's so crucial and so important. Reverend Michlynn, I have to ask you this question, but what are your thoughts around women being of influence? And when a woman have influence, how do you think that impacts our ability to rise freely in this world?
Very good question. First of all, I'm all about powerful women. I have daughters and granddaughters, and personally, energetically, I have seen a big shift in a lot of the young women really stepping into their power. I think overall, we've been have a lot more tools to face those obstacles when they come up. And I think as a woman, we just have different energies and different ideas that we can bring to the table. Originally, we were brought in to be nurturers and care for people. So we can have a nice balance of a male, feminine energy to bring in. So it seems to be, for me personally and the people that I'm around, a little well-rounded, because we can be gentle and kind and loving, but we can also be firm and stand in our power because we have that goal in mind and we know it's for the greater good of not just us, but many people.
You've always been someone who speak your mind. And, I always admire that. Sometimes what I find is when you reach a certain level or leadership, I think you have a responsibility to doing the right thing as well. But sometimes you find that when you stand up for what is right, you get resistant, and then you become the person who, is not supposed to be in that role, unfortunate, but it's about doing the right thing. What's your thought on being a woman, doing the right thing and leading? It's really challenging when you become influential.
I agree with you, Carion. There's definitely a big responsibility on the words that you choose and how you choose to present yourself in the community. Even in Durham here, just based on working at the Cove and the Collective and down at Granddad's, people see you everywhere and they're watching you. So there does come with that a big responsibility on how you choose to conduct yourself, the certain events that you're in. At the end of the day, if the unity, me personally, the unity needs to come together in the division. We need to really have a look at that. Everybody has a right to express what they choose to express. And I think if you conduct yourself in a way that is consistent and that people are used to you being there and you show up and you do your best, then that's all we can expect from people. Just do your best. If somebody else is doing something, love and honor them. They can be in that space, but you continue to move forward with your vision and your goals.
Yeah. And I think I mentioned this, I've mentioned before in the past in regards to, well, you know that because you know me behind the scenes. In regards to the systemic issue that I face, it wasn't just as a Black woman, but it was also as a woman. Because I remember when I was in the courtroom, I had a Caucasian woman said to me, and it was a family matter, that judge was horrible to the other woman, but she was horrific to you. And the only difference between you and the other woman is that you're a Black woman, I mean, no woman should be treated unfairly. And the fact that, women are treated differently just based on what they look like, like, when are we going to pass this? Lorraine, what's your thoughts on that?
I believe that it's what Reverend Michlynn is saying. I feel like it's just showing up every day, doing your best and hoping that it's recognized and that the collaboration is key. So you're talking about like the sisterhood and really supporting one another. And I feel like that's the key for us to move past a lot of this, to support each other as much as we possibly can so that we can get through those and break through those obstacles together.
Yes. I love Durham region, and I think we have a beautiful community, and I think it's just amazing when we all come together and love each other, no matter what sex you are, it's really a beautiful place to live. What's one quick tip, Lorraine, you can give to a little girl about being a woman today?
Break the mold. If you don't see anyone doing it, go ahead and do it. Don't take that as a sign of discouragement. And when I say break the mold, I know a lot of times like there's like the feminine or the female thing that we're supposed to do versus the male thing, like males are supposed to be doing this, females are supposed to be doing that. There are no barriers. There's no guide, like directed road that we're supposed to be going on. It's doing what your passion guides you to do to support the community and support yourself and living the life that you want to live.
And that is so, what? I wanted to shatter that glass. And, I'm sure I made a dent when I ran for mayor. You're watching Health 180 with Carion Fenn and Rogers TV and podcast. I'm Carion Fenn, and we'll be right back.
This program is brought to you by NBA League Pass. More dunks, more slams, more to love, live in HD. NBA League Pass, part of the Rogers Super Sports Pack.
Illness doesn't have to be a life sentence. Join me each week on Health 180 with Carion Fenn as we talk with doctors and other experts about how to reset your life after an illness. Learn health and wellness tips, patient stories, advice, and solutions from professionals on how to be the best you. Together we are stronger. That's Health 180 with Carion Fenn right here on Rogers TV.
This is Rogers TV.
Welcome back to Health 180 with Carion Fenn and Rogers TV and podcast. My name is Carion Fenn. Lorraine Shaw and Reverend Michlynn Walton are back with me in recognition of International Women's Day. And, you know, it's so important to keep hitting that glass ceiling, you know. I remember when I ran for mayor, I wanted to show other women that they too can take a seat at the table and they too can reach for the sky, you know. As a woman with a disability and a Black woman, you know, it was so important. It's so important for us to keep trying and making these steps and trying to do what we can, because there are little girls out there that are looking at all of us, you know, and they need that hope and inspiration to know that they can do anything they want to do. Reverend Michlynn, we both lost a sister in advocacy, a friend, and a good human being. Tell us about Terry Johnson.
Sparky. So Terry Johnson, Sparky, I met her through the Carion Fenn Foundation. So we quickly became friends, as anybody will with Sparky. She was just a fierce advocate, not only for women's rights, but for freedom of choice and for the more vulnerable communities. And as we move through working on a vigil for her, over and over and over again, when I was talking about the consistency, will just show up and be who you are, just be the best version of you. Everybody will talk about the same thing with Sparky, that she was loving, that she stood by people, that she was an advocate, and she did it selflessly. She would be out by herself. If she believed in something, she would stand, and it's just about showing up. I love her. I miss her. She'll always be with us. And she was a great role model. She was a great role model in believing you can. And with her obstacles, with her disability, she kept on going and she made it work.
Yeah. What do you think? Because I think we all share a common passion for helping society. Why do you think Sparky was so passionate about long-term care and seniors?
I think it's sparkly.
She is sparkly because I always call her, hey, Sparks.
She had some personal experiences. She had some personal experiences, and she was somebody that was boots on the ground. So she actually went out and saw what was happening, and she listened to people. She listened to people's stories. So and that's a big skill. Sometimes we just, if it's too hurtful, we don't want to hear it. But she went and she listened to people, and she also had her personal experiences, which just kept that drive for her. She saw what was important, and she learned more about the system and how it works from A to Z. So,
yes. You know, you and I got a chance to see, and you've seen this before, but it's the first time there's a combination of, you know, our advocacy and, you know, those who are on the protest line, you know, and I think sometimes people don't get to see the individuals themselves, right? And I mean, being working behind the scene to put this vigil together, our team combined with, you know, the protesters that are on the front line. And what I've learned from seeing everyone is those individuals on the protest line that are advocating for seniors in long-term care, it's coming from deep pain, and they're good people, you know? What did you learn? Did you pick up on anything from, you know, coming together for the good of Sparky?
For me, well, yeah, again, I mean, you know me, I'm a kind of little hippy-dippy at heart. So I believe love always wins. I believe that we all have a different way that we process our trauma or our hurt. And if we just hold space for people to be able to put their experiences in there, whether we can identify with it or not. For me, I tell people we're either actively engaged or we're holding space. And that's super important. And I think for all of humanity, not even just women and men, and I think we're going back to the the village mentality, almost like that story Stone Soup, where I know, Carion, you bring wonderful things to the table, and Lorraine and myself and even the team. We learn so much just about who everybody is and what their strengths are. And again, just sort of love always wins. Bring it back to just be kind.
Yeah. You know, one of the things in Sparks played a key role in helping me over the past year and a half in going through my trauma. We both were terrorized, you know. Lorraine, you were just about to meet Sparky before she passed away, because she would be on the seniors team. She's a part of the senior. You know, Rav, Mr. Blair, you know, Sparks. They're all a part of the seniors team that come together to run the seniors program together. So you would have been able to meet her. And I don't know how we're going to move forward in running that program without us crying every second. One of the hardest things I've had to do is send an email to our seniors who attended our past event and say, you know, the wonderful lady who was there for you, who spent 3 months with you every week, is no longer with us. And that was really hard, you know. Reverend Michlynn, what's your fondest memory of Sparky?
Well, I'll tell you, because I did know Sparky on a personal level as well. It was not only my fondest memory, but also so much gratitude around that. Sparky was very attached to her Indigenous culture and roots. And she came up here, and I invited some cousins and some friends, and we had a fire, and she taught us about the 4 sacred medicines. And we all just sat and learned so much from her. And then we did a little ceremony, and she played her drum, and she taught us a bit about who she was and what made her happy. And it was just, there were tears, and there was singing, and there was dancing. So that's one of my fondest memories, because she really brought a lot of people together. And we have seen that in our team for the vigil, and just trying to get people together for that. There's a group over here, and a group over here, and a group over here. But what's the one common denominator? And it's Sparky's love for people.
Yes.
And for people coming together.
Yes. I remember when we had to get the bags, we had to take swag bags for our seniors who participated in the program. And then we had goodies from the police department, the fire department, and so many individuals took part. And we put the bags together. She came over, and we all got together. We put all the bags together, and she's like, just give me half. I'll put it out. And then when I talked to her, she was like, she got them all out. I was like, shocked. We didn't get any out yet, but she got them all out. And I was like, she has a disability, but she functioned in her own way, you know, that often people don't think she have a disability because of how she go around her disability, which is something often person with a disability normally do. Lorraine, seniors are a key part of society. What is the ideal lifestyle for a senior person?
So I feel like the ideal lifestyle for a senior person is to have choice, to live as independently as possible for as long as they possibly can, and to know that they're safe. So I feel like that's what it is. Everyone has their own determination of what the best lifestyle is for them, but the constant is to be able to have choice and to be independent. So yeah, so that's what it is to me.
I'm really looking forward. So Lorraine gave me a tour of one of the Parkland's facilities, and honestly, I just want to move in, open, ready, available. Right? It's just spectacular. So I really look forward to taking a tour and just exploring that lifestyle for the one that's being built in Ajax. And I look forward to exploring it with my viewers as well to take a look, because I think it's so important to understand when their options and, what's available to you, and if you can live your best life, But how do you go about, Lorraine, facilitating what seniors need?
So first and foremost, Parkland is actually a family-owned company. And I feel like that family-owned family, it runs through everything that we do. And that entails us getting to know each and every one of our residents so that we can support every single need that they have. So we take that time to get to know them. We have councils, we have surveys, we have an open door policy. I remember when I was a rec director, residents would call me even when I was off, and it was fine because I loved it. I wanted that feedback to know what they need and how I can really facilitate and support them. So everything that we do at Parkland isn't cookie cutter at all. It's based upon the residents that we have within our community. So when you go to each of our locations, each one is uniquely different because it's a reflection of what our residents want and need.
What's one thing to consider when looking at care for a senior person?
So basically that customized support, that's what you should be looking for. So what does that older adult need and how can we support, and what is that flexibility with that support that's being offered as well? Because no two resident is alike. And what one resident needs, another resident may need it too, but in a totally different way. So just looking for that flexibility and that customization, and also the attention to detail as well.
Reverend Michlynn, how does the Cove help other businesswomen?
The Cove started, I usually travel and do some outreach, and I thought I'm going to go cuckoo if I stay. So it was about supporting small businesses, small artisans. It started as that. And it's also what it's turned into now is women. There's a lot of talented women out there with a lot of great ideas and a lot of wonderful information to share. So it's just about holding space for them. So I'll stand beside them. I'll offer them that space. And pretty much like be a cheerleader. Come on in here. Let's do this. Like, I love what you're doing. And I think sometimes if somebody's in our corner, that's all we really need, or that little encouragement. And somebody gave that to me, and I'm just sort of paying it forward. They said, you know what, go out and do workshops. And I said, who's going to listen to me other than Carion? And of course, Lorraine. So that's how I'm putting that forward, just by giving them a space and letting them know that I'm super interested in what they're doing.
Yeah. And I thank both of you. Lorraine, I'm getting to know Lorraine, and it's been quite an amazing experience. And, I mean, no matter what you go through, I've had some strong women holding me up, over the past few years. And I wouldn't have been able to get through the stuff that I've gotten through to be in front of my audience. But, you guys are just super, super amazing. And I so appreciate you and the other women that I'm surrounded by, I mean, when one of us is not feeling strong in this moment, the others can help to hold us up. And I think it's just a beautiful thing to have good people around you. So I just want to ask, Lorraine, what's one advice you can give to a woman in regards to living their best lifestyle quickly?
So it's one piece of advice is determine what you want and just to fulfill it. That's basically it. So if you have a certain passion, try it and live it to your best abilities. And that's all I can really say about that. And
make your mark.
Yes,
that's all the time
absolutely.
We have for today's episode of Health 180 with Carion Fenn and Rogers TV on podcast. My name is Carion Fenn. Thank you to my guests for joining us, and thank you for joining. And remember, together we're stronger.